Hello everyone, this is Razi again, your IGCSE Business Studies teacher. We will be starting off Chapter 3, Enterprise, Business Growth and Size. Let us first take a look at the topics we will be covering from Chapter 3 today. Enterprise and Entrepreneurship, Characteristics of Successful Entrepreneurs, Advantages and Disadvantages of Being an Entrepreneur, what we understand by a business plan and why is it important, and finally, why and how governments support business startups. Alright then, let's start by talking about enterprise and entrepreneurship. What do we really understand by these two terms? We have discussed these terms in our previous videos. Let's refresh our memory, shall we? Enterprise is another name for a company or firm. An entrepreneur is a person who organizes, operates, and takes the risk for running an enterprise, hence entrepreneur. Let us look at some renowned entrepreneurs around the world. First name that comes to mind is the evergreen Oprah Winfrey. She's arguably the living embodiment of the American dream as she overcame poverty and numerous abuses to become one of the richest and most powerful women in the entertainment industry. Along with her, we have the tech pioneers in Bill Gates and Steve Jobs. These two played a major role in the age of technology we live in today, with their work with Microsoft and Apple respectively. Another prime example would be Jeff Bezos, the CEO of Amazon, who just happens to be the richest man in the world with a net worth of a staggering 140 billion US dollars. We have hundreds of examples when we talk about global entrepreneurs. How about one from our own country? The CEO of one of our greatest startups, Mr. Hussein M. Ilyas, and his team came up with the concept of Pathao and operated despite all the obstacles and risks. Today, they are valued at over 100 million US dollars, a true inspiration for all of us. But despite all these entrepreneurs being successful in different industries, they, along with all other successful entrepreneurs, have a few qualities that set them apart. Let's take a look at these characteristics. First of all, each one of these entrepreneurs are incredibly hardworking. They worked day and night with the only goal of succeeding in mind. Next, entrepreneurs have to be risk takers. Deciding to produce goods or offer services to people in a way that they will accept and buy is potentially risky, and they have to take decisions with accountability. Another crucial characteristic is creativity. A new business requires new ways of thinking, new ideas, and new processes that will attract both the internal team and the customers. Then we have optimism. An entrepreneur needs to believe in their purpose and look forward to a better future. They have to be the shining light that shows direction to their people. This brings upon self-confidence. This is crucial, especially if you want to convince other stakeholders like investors, employees, and most importantly, customers that your business is on its way to becoming successful. Another very important characteristic is innovation. In the age of technology, it is a big plus point if entrepreneurs come up with innovative ways to operate and serve the people. Then we have independence. Entrepreneurs need to motivate themselves and work on their own before they can afford to employ others. There will be times when they will have to get the job done without any sort of help from anyone. So yeah, having to work independently and being self-motivated is essential. And lastly, entrepreneurs have to be effective communicators. Talking clearly and confidently to stakeholders is crucial. So the right message is being communicated to the right person in the right way at the right time. That's often the difference between an almost yes and a definite yes. So yeah, these were some of the characteristics that successful entrepreneurs share. But boy, this does feel like a lot of work and effort. then why are there so many entrepreneurs in the world today? That's because there are a number of benefits of being an entrepreneur, which are as follows. First of all, independence. Basically, the ability to choose how to use time and money. Then we have the ability of entrepreneurs to put their own ideas into practice and make sure that their personal interests and skills are being utilized. This keeps them constantly motivated. Then we have flexibility, which is another big advantage. And lastly, once successful, incomes may be higher than working as an employee for another company, which is a big benefit from a financial standpoint. However, it's not always rainbows and butterflies in the life of an entrepreneur. They have to face a number of obstacles and disadvantages as well, some of which are listed below. First of all, there's a big element of risk involved. Many startups fail, especially if there's poor planning. Then there's capital. More often than not, entrepreneurs invest their own money to start it off, which just increases the stakes and risks. Next, new entrepreneurs usually have a lack of knowledge and experience in starting and operating a business, which further increases the risk of failure. And lastly, opportunity cost is forever linked to an entrepreneur. They lose a great deal of stable income by not being an employee elsewhere. Days, weeks, months, and even years go by without any form of income for entrepreneurs, which is a huge financial risk as well. So now that we all know the risks involved in being an entrepreneur, what can we do to ensure success? Well, one of the most important factors that plays a role in a startup failing is poor planning. This can be solved through one document, a business plan. A business plan is a document containing all the business objectives and important details about the operations, finance, and owners of the new business. This document includes product details, cash flow, business costs, location details, and resources required. These details being organized well will help businesses to carefully plan and reduce risks as well as help them gain more finance because this document plays a big role when a business is going for funding from stakeholders like banks. This is because they know that this business has a sense of direction and know where they're heading. So the final topic we'll be covering in today's video talks about why and how governments support business startups. There are several reasons why governments support startups. Some of the reasons are as follows. Startups create jobs, which in return reduces unemployment. Then, more businesses means more competition between firms. New businesses give consumers more choices and competition leads to more efficiency in production, which eventually lowers prices. And finally, lowered prices and reduced unemployment benefits the society in whole. As it benefits the society, governments support startups so that they can grow even bigger and hence increasing the social benefits. They help businesses in many ways. They provide business ideas, premises such as commercial or enterprise zones, which allows them to operate at low costs. They also provide companies with finance, such as grants, training, and research. All these aspects help startups greatly. This marks the end of our video. Let's look at the topics we covered and learned today. Enterprise and entrepreneurship, characteristics of successful entrepreneurs, advantages and disadvantages of being an entrepreneur, what we understand by a business plan and why is it important, and finally, why and how governments support business startups.